Hello, 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 and welcome everyone. Welcome to Testimony Thursday. If you can write, you can win, episode 6. My name is Ronette Turner Corley, and I'm extremely excited today. Got something really special for you and an amazing testimony of what's been going on in this young lady's life. So, before we get started, I want to welcome everyone that's streaming live and can hear the sound of my voice on YouTube. We are streaming on our YouTube channel. We are also streaming live on TikTok as well as Facebook Live. So I want to welcome each and every one of you here. I'm so excited of the information that's going to be shared. I couldn't wait to share this testimony because it's absolutely amazing. Now, before I get started, I want to share a few things just so you understand. We're going to talk about some money. We're going to talk about bringing cash flow into the house, right? So in doing so, I want you to reference the income disclaimer. Please note that the results mentioned will vary from person to person. So there's no guarantee here because we don't know, like it says here, your individual success is dependent on your own efforts, consistency, and commitment. And everyone that I bring on this platform, on this show, they are successful because of their commitment, okay? And the fact that they are focused and they're putting in the effort. So when you put in the effort here, guess what? You get results. So I want you to really understand that. It's because of what they're doing is the reason why it's working. But I want you to understand that we're going to talk about some money today and how you can bring cash flow into your home by simply writing letters to billion-dollar corporations. Now, before I bring on our featured guest, I also want to mention, because this method of letter writing is government regulated. And because of that, there are some states that have elected not to participate. And I want to make sure I mention those states just so that you know if you reside in one of those states, unfortunately, this type of writing method you cannot participate in. Those states now, I do want to say this platform is available in the United States and Canada. Okay. But the states that are excluded is Washington State, Idaho, Michigan, Montana, Nevada, Connecticut, and if you're in Canada, the province of Quebec. So sorry, guys. I didn't make the rules, but that's it. But guess what? Everywhere else in the United States and Canada is fair game. So here's the thing. I want you to get excited because I'm about to introduce a young lady that's been on this platform pretty much since day one. So she's seen the growth of what has taken place here. And not only is she earning thousands of dollars from the comforts of her home, she's a single mom, stay-home mom of 2 kiddos, as well as she is an online marketer. Okay, that's what she does. So she'll tell you her story. We'll get into it, but I want to welcome to this show Peyton May. So, hey there, Peyton.
Hi, how are you?
I am doing fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing very, very good. Thank you.
Good, good, good. Well, welcome to Testimony Thursday. I really appreciate you coming on and sharing with the audience, exactly what's been going on since you've been a part of this platform. And let's go ahead and just, not delay. Let's dive right in.
Sure.
So tell me your background, what besides, outside of, participating in this platform, what is your past and what have you been doing?
Yeah, so I've been a stay-at-home mom for 11 years, and I have worked online in various different ways in various companies during that duration. I've also done things like, babysitting from home, driving for Amazon. I owned a teeth whitening business, so I had clients come to my home and I would whiten their teeth. So a lot of different things aside from working online and having online businesses, building teams with different companies and things of that nature, affiliate marketing, network marketing, digital marketing, just kind of all of the above over the past 11 years. So obviously, there was always a learning curve. The first 5 years or so were not very successful, didn't make a whole lot of money, but I always knew that there was a way to make it work, and I was not going to stop until I found a way to make that work. So that's what I did. And yeah. Oh, and I heard that you said single mom. I have branded myself as a single mom for so many years, but I am newly engaged.
I was going to say, yeah, congratulations.
no longer.
Right. Right. Absolutely. That's wonderful. When's the big day?
We're thinking September 21st. Hopefully, if all
Okay.
goes well. So,
A day before my sister's birthday. Okay.
oh,
Right on. Wonderful. Well, congratulations on that.
thank you.
Yes, absolutely. So you've been involved. So basically, when it comes to online, you've seen and done it all. I mean, same here, right? You've
Yeah,
seen and done it all.
yeah.
So when you got a chance to, how did you find out about this current platform that we're talking about right now, the writing letters?
Yeah, so I had a friend, we were actually in a previous company together. We didn't work directly together, but we were in the same company together. And at the time, that was my biggest main income stream. You know, that was my bread and butter. And the company, unfortunately, was in the process of closing its doors. And so it became very real in a very short amount of time that all of us who were making significant money, we're going to need to find a way to replace that. And so this friend of mine reached out to me and said, hey, I found something, you know, somebody brought something to me. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but people can make a lot of money. I think that we can make this work, and I want you to check it out. And so I was like, sure. He sent me the information. At the time, because it was so new, because we, you know, this thing hadn't really taken off yet. It hadn't even launched yet. So
And that was what?
the
What
information.
was the time frame? What was the time frame when you actually saw it?
This was right after Christmas. I was actually on like a little Christmas, New Year's vacation with my mom and my kids at the time. And so we were,
So 2023.
yes. So
Okay.
we were literally on our way. I mean, I think the day he brought it to me was the day that we were getting on a plane to come home. So this was like right between Christmas and New Year's.
Yes.
And there was not a whole lot of information. I mean, literally,
Right.
he told me we can write letters and make money. And I was like, I need more information. Like, I'm
Right.
one to need all of the facts. I typically jump in and learn as I go, but that's pretty vague.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, that doesn't make any sense to me. So he was like, just trust me on it. You know, we can do this. And I was like, okay, sure. So I literally paid for the training for it, hopped on a plane. I had told a couple of people about it before I got on the plane. By the time I landed back home, I had, you know, 15 people already messaging me being like, can you please send me more information about
Wow.
to write letters and make
With no proof.
we had no idea what we were doing. We had no idea what all of it entailed at all, but we knew that we needed an extra income stream, and we can all write letters. So
Right. Right. I mean, you know, it's funny with all of the proof today, right? Because now you start at the very beginning, like I said, December of 2023, before the company really launched, which is January 2024.
Right.
Now we're in a whole year.
Right.
My husband and I got a chance to see it December of 2024, right?
Wow.
So you're talking about social proof everywhere.
Yeah.
Right? So it was easy to like say, and even our sponsors who brought us on in 2024, and they're a senior couple, just pretty much from letter writing had did $30,000 in extra income.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm going, wait a minute. So we had all the proof we needed.
Yeah.
So with you to have 15 people,
yeah,
that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, well, because I mean, we all worked in this previous company, you know, and we were like, gosh, we've been making our money and paying our bills with this, but we know that's going to come to an end soon, and everybody can write letters. You know, that was the thing, and that was the message that I was getting was, I mean, I know how to write. What do we have to do? And I'm like, all I know is we're going to be writing. That's it. That's all I got.
Right. You know, and wow, that's incredible because that's true. So it's almost like, did you have the feeling, and I'm just kind of putting it out here, like, well, what do I have to lose?
Oh, exactly. For sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So then, okay, so you see it, you get started. There's not any proof other than the founder, right?
Yeah.
Did you ever have that feeling in your stomach, like, is this going to work? Is it not?
So it's funny, and I don't know how I possess this quality, but that never crossed my mind of, gosh, I'm going to be writing and mailing letters and I'm not going to get paid for them. It just, that thought never crossed my mind. I was just in it from the beginning and writing my little fingers off the bone, you know? And I think really the group of people that started we all kind of had that mentality, because otherwise, I mean, why would we have gotten started with absolutely no information and no proof? So I think the vast majority of us shared that mentality of, they say it's going to work, we're going to do it. I mean, what do we have to lose? Worst case scenario, we've mailed a bunch of letters and nothing comes out of it. But on the flip side, if we mail a bunch of letters and money comes out of it, even better. So we were all just meeting up, on the Facebook group every day. I mailed this many letters today. I mailed this many letters today. We're one day closer. And it was just, we were just so excited to finally get to the day.
Wow. Because we know, and just for the audience, so that there's a wait time. Okay. There's a window of time. But here's what I'm learning, because like I said, I'm in now a little bit over 60 days, almost 90 days. It goes by so quick. I'm going, oh my gosh, this has gone by very quick, right? Yeah. But when you first think of it, here in the US, they're saying anywhere from 10 to 8 to 12 weeks. Okay. So you think about, okay, so I'm writing. Yes. But what I love about it is about building your pipeline. But once that water faucet comes on, it's on.
It's on. Yeah. And that's what I tell people too. Anybody new that's getting started, I tell them, hey, I know that the first initial wait, it can be testing, right? But I say, the time is going to pass by anyway. I mean, how many times do we get to the end of the year and you're like, how did that already, the year already ended? Like, that went by so fast. So I'm like, that time is going to pass anyway. You might as well be doing something that, once the time passes, you have money coming in on the other side. And I always tell people, once you start writing, don't stop. Don't be one of those people that writes a few and then says, I'm just going to wait and see if it works. Because by the time that happens, you're going to be wishing you had been writing and mailing that whole time. Because if you're consistent with it, then your payments will be more consistent as well on that faucet. That water just keeps on running.
And it's so funny you should say that, because everybody who I've talked to, just talking to different individuals, and just find, hey, what's your story? Everyone says, I wish I would have wrote more.
Or I wish I would have started sooner.
Or wish I would have started sooner. Exactly. Yeah. Just so the audience know, because I know when I first got started, I thought, okay, we'll be writing letters. Okay, let me get out my 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, right?
Notebook.
Get busy.
Notebook.
We're talking about a 4x6 index card only on one side. 2 sentences, your name and address and a code on one side, and mailing it in. And this is worth up to $5.
Yeah.
Insane. So so now let's get into, how long did it take you to get what we call your first drop or deposit?
Yeah. So for me, I started writing with just one company, and I got my first drop at 9 weeks on the dot with them. Okay. And then probably about a month in of my writing, so before my first, drop at all, I had decided I should probably write to a second company too, because why not? I feel like it's just better to have more. So I started writing to them, and that company gave me my first drop. I think it was 7 weeks on the dot. So at that moment in time, it was a little faster. However, we were all under the impression that it would happen even faster than that. So some of us were like, oh, it's already been 4 weeks, or it's already been 6 weeks, and nothing's happened yet. But we just kept, up with the face of it's got to come at some point in time, So it fluctuates. And I do tell people sometimes it fluctuates, they're like any other. The businesses that we're mailing to are like any other businesses. It has its ebbs and flows. They have real humans on the other end, processing all of our letters. So there are going to be certain times where they process a little faster, and there are going to be certain times where they're falling a little behind and it gets a little slower, but it always catches up with itself. I'm like, it doesn't matter how much time it takes. It's always coming at the end of the day.
Right. Absolutely. Do you recall? Because I know a lot of the times when I talk to people, I hear that first, deposit or drop, as we call it, is usually the smallest one. Do you recall what your first one was?
I don't know how I got lucky. My first drop was actually one of my biggest ones. And I was not expecting that. I was expecting it to be a tiny, small drop, and I just happened to log in one day, and I was like, I think my first drop was 300, and it was either 280 or it was 320, but it was somewhere around that mark. And then I remember once I actually cashed out, I had pretty much that exact same amount. I think I might have been up by like $1 or $5
Okay.
or something. So I was like, well, this is working out great.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
really exciting for me.
Absolutely. So when you got a chance to get that first one, like some people do, did you start writing more after that?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It definitely fired me up. And I was for probably the first 3 to 4 months of it, I was I wrote a lot and I made sure to write every day, but I was very inconsistent with how many I was writing per day or how often I was mailing and things like that. So, I mean, there would be days where I had only written 5 and other days where I had written 25. And sometimes I would mail them that same day. And sometimes I would save them up. I remember one time I had just one of those small boxes of envelopes that are like a 50 envelope box. And so I had wrote enough letters to fill that box up and then sent a picture into, all of my writing buddies. And I was like, I'm mailing 50. And I thought I was just on top of the world, because I knew now what was going to come to me on the other side. So I was like, I want to mail as many as possible.
Right. Right. Wow. That's incredible. Now, what has been your biggest drop to date?
My biggest drop to date was actually last night. I was today. I said I got my biggest drop ever. It was $550 or coins. It was $550.
Okay.
Yep.
Nice.
And
all right.
Yeah. And that was very exciting for me. That was
that's amazing. Okay. And so now that you're in your flow, what would you say that you're doing per day, per month when it comes to writing?
So I have a goal for myself to get at least 20 done per day. Sometimes I try to shoot for 30. I know that there's a popular kind of challenge that a lot of people in our community do where they write 45 letters a day for 45 days. And I have a couple of close friends of mine who have done that challenge. And so about a couple of months ago, I really thought I would challenge myself to do the challenge. And I did it for like 2 days. And I realized that was not going to work for me personally. So I just stick to my 20 to 30. If I get 30 done, I feel like superwoman and I'm very happy, but I try to get at least 20 done. And I write on weekends too. I started calculating all of my bills and expenses in letters versus dollars. So I know, okay, I have to write X amount of letters to get this paid and X amount of letters to get that paid. And then I'll just break that down. I'll just divide it by 30 and say, okay, I need to write this many every day of the month and I'll be good.
Right. Wonderful. Yeah. That's great because now you can really literally, like you said, calculate based on the letters. So that's the beautiful thing about it. Now, how many companies are you writing to now?
I write to 3.
Okay.
I write to 3 consistently. There's been a 4th one that I threw in the mix, but I don't write to them as consistently. It's just kind of as I feel it, as I have extra time, I'll throw out a couple to them. But consistently 3.
Okay, wonderful. So that one drop came from just one company.
Just one. Yeah, I had some nice today. This week was a nice week.
Wow. Nice. You get dropped from all 3?
Not all 3, because the 3rd one, I will say, I actually recently moved in the summer. Okay. I moved into a house that I was able to rent for me and my kids. It's the first time I've ever had a home, just me, myself, and my kids, largely due to this letter income. And so I changed my address with one of the companies. It was the one that I had the most letters in the pipeline. And so I didn't want to change my address until they had already processed all of those. So what I did was I stopped writing to them. I was giving them time to credit me all of the letters. And then I changed my address with them. So I actually just started writing to them again last month. So I'm in that first initial waiting phase again with that 3rd one, but it's okay.
Wow. Nice. And that's exactly what I was going to ask you. What are some things now, because of this extra income that's coming in? And do you find also, before I even get to that question, do you find that when it comes to your writing, that it's easy to fit it around your lifestyle?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And I homeschool my kids. So we are all 3 home all day. I have 2 dogs. I do have other businesses outside of just writing letters and sharing it with this community. So there are constantly other things that I'm doing throughout the day. But yeah, I get up in the morning and, I could write 5 letters while I'm having coffee and the kids are watching cartoons or TV, whatever kids do these days. And then we can get a little bit of artwork done. I can get my steps in on the treadmill. I can do whatever else I need to do. And then I can write another, 5, 10 letters. And then my goal is just to have whatever I need done for the day done in time for me to drive to the post office right before they close for the day. That's kind of my schedule.
Okay. Awesome. And then, so because of this, because once again, this is just extra cash flow coming in addition to what you're currently doing. What are some of the things you mentioned, now, renting a house? What are some of the other things you've been able to do as a way because of this extra income coming in?
Yeah, absolutely. So biggest and foremost, I was able to rent my own house. Outside of that, this is the first time I've ever been able to pay all of my bills solely completely by myself and build up a savings account and pay off credit cards and still have money left over to invest. I'm investing in the stock markets. And we took a random impromptu trip, out of state a couple of times. I took my kids to California to visit my mom for the holidays. I took them to Indiana for the birth of my nephew. And so before having this letter opportunity, I would make money in my different businesses, but it was fluctuating. Do I have enough clients booked for the month? Have I made enough sales for the month? Things like that. And so when I had money, it would fluctuate so widely because as an entrepreneur, you can get stuck in this sort of feast and famine type of live lifestyle. So now the letter income is my way of having a budgetable income stream. So even if the rest fluctuate, I know I still have enough to pay all my bills. I still have enough to put more in savings and all of those things. So the letter income has really added such a huge stability. And then obviously just the ability to do things that I wasn't able to do before, like take trips, across the country at the drop of a hat when I feel like it. For the most part.
I mean, that just enhances your quality of life.
Yeah.
And I love the fact you just said, I mean, and that's what I love about this is that you're in control.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's consistent because it's solely based on how much you want to put in or not.
Exactly. The effort that you put out, you're going to get income back in for that. And it's not based on anything else other than how many letters do I want to sit down and write? How many do I need? How many do I want? And you just make the time to do it. And it's no different than going to a 9 to 5, If you get that paycheck at the end of the week, you're going to go to your job. And that's just that. So for me, the letter income, I have the flexibility to write whenever I want to write. But I know if I write, I'm going to get the income that I need out of it too. So it's great.
That is wonderful. That is wonderful. Now, because you're already and this is the other thing we loved about it is the fact that, I mean, we have people that have been a part of our community or our team for many years that are making thousands per month that never made any money in the industry. Although this is not network marketing, more like direct sales, but still the industry is the industry, peer to peer, right? And so what is your take on that? Because you've been in the industry like my husband and myself, and you're a builder and you build communities. But what about the people who can't? Have you found this to be an easier approach that everybody can do?
100%. And that was one of my main things too, that really got me super excited. Even before I had written letters, even before I had been paid for any of my letters, I was like, this is something that I can share with people because of what I've done for the last 11 years, I have people that talk to me or ask me every single day, hey, can you teach me how to make extra money? Hey, what can I do to make extra money? And if I tell them all of the things that I do, 9 times out of 10, you get well, I'm not good at sales, or I don't want to do sales, or I don't want to be on social media. I don't want to make videos and talk on social media, or, they think that they see what I do and they think they can't, or they don't want to do what I do. Whereas now I finally have something to say, hey, remember when you told me you needed extra money, or remember when you asked me what you can do? You actually don't have to sell anything. You don't have to ever tell a soul. You don't have to ever be on social media if you don't want to. Just write some letters, and however many letters you want to write, you can get paid for, and anybody can do it. So, I mean, as long as you can pick up a pen and follow directions, you can make money with this all day long. And so I've had a lot of people who have either tried to do the sales route and just figured out it wasn't a good fit for them, or they weren't able to make the money that they needed, and now they can. And it's just like, it is such a breath of fresh air for them. It's so amazing.
Yep. That's exactly my description, a breath of fresh air, because it really is. Because when you are that upline sponsor, I mean, yeah, it's nice to make money for your household, but one of the things that I know when we went into this industry and made it a profession, I'm sure you feel the same, is that we wanted to make impact and help other people be able to truly, be successful from home. And now we have that answer.
Exactly.
And for those who want to build, talk about that side, because there is another side. You don't have to do it, because like I said, I know people who are making thousands per month, not sharing with a soul, and they don't care to. But for those who say, listen, I have that desire to tell more people, there is a way you can do that too. So how's that worked out for you?
Oh, I love that part too. But that, I mean, of course, that's just in me. That's been a part of who I am.
Right.
But I have found that it's been great for people who have never done it before either, because it's so easy to share, because it's so easy to do, and because it is that very, like, I know we can't say guaranteed, but it's guaranteed in the sense that what you put out, you're going to get back in.
Correct.
And I'm also a numbers girl, so I can crunch the numbers all day and say, listen, even if you only convert at 50%, that's a 300% profit. Tell me any business that you can get that in. You can't.
Right. You can't.
So I'm just like it, but yeah, the affiliate side of this, and that's it just is direct sales affiliate, and that's what it is. But with the residual aspect of it, it's just they when they really say that it's generous, it is generous. And I have people that have written letters and kept to themselves for a year because they have never done any sort of direct sales or affiliate marketing type stuff. And after a year of writing letters, they're like, you know what? I think I'm actually ready to share this and talk about it. And they share it and talk about it. And man, they get, 2-3 referrals right away that first week. And they're like, this is so easy. This is so fun. And I'm like, I
know. And one of the things I know that really that builds their confidence is the fact that the no's don't matter anymore, because in traditional sales, you gotta sell that juice. You gotta sell this. You gotta sell that to make money. But here, if they don't get started, I'm still writing my letters.
Exactly. It takes all the pressure. It's like, it's the perfect way, I think, if you've never done sales before, something like this is the perfect way to kind of get your feet wet, because it's so low pressure. Because even if somebody says no, guess what, honey? You're still making money because you're still writing letters. Your income is not dependent on anybody else other than you doing what you want to do. And anything above that is extra. And I tell people that. I'm like, listen, you do not have to be an affiliate or a promoter or tell anybody about it. But I promise, once you start getting paid, you're going to want to tell people about it, because you understand how powerful it is. And when you do tell people about it, now all of a sudden, you don't have to feel icky. You don't have to feel like you're trying to convince somebody to do something. And you don't have to lose any sleep if they say, you know what, no thanks. Okay. Because you're still making money at the end of the day regardless. So it's just, it just gives this like light, fresh air about it. And I think it's so relaxing compared to other sales businesses, So it's the perfect way for somebody to test it out if they've never done something like that either.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, when it comes to people who are already a part of something, because one of the things sometimes I run into, some people love what they do. And, I believe health and wellness is our true love, right? Because you have to feel good and to do good, right? So, but right now I don't desire to sell any products, although I take them and I believe in them and I will be a consumer. However, I tell people all the time, and I just want to get your take on that. don't stop what you're doing. If
Oh,
you like the juice, if you like the weight loss, if you like whatever, but this right here, you can bring in the cash flow and accelerate what you're doing.
yeah. And I do think too, I think because this provides such an income stream that doesn't rely on anybody else, it gives you the ability to, if you're already selling something else like health and wellness, if you're already in a company and you're selling health and wellness, or it could be anything, I don't care what you're selling. If you're selling something for an income and you love it, great.
Mhm.
You can still find time to write. Even just 5 letters a day will be life changing. And now, because you have this income stream that you can kind of rely on, that is going to come in, all of a sudden your sales, your essence around how you sell what you love changes.
Yes, it changes.
You
Wow,
become more human. You become more less stressed about needing the sale. Now all of a sudden it's not, oh gosh, I need to get these sales because I need this money. Now it's, you can actually have fun selling whatever you're selling, and you can relax into it. And it happens it flows more easily because you're not stressed. The consumer that you're trying to sell for feels that you're not stressed about it. And it is just, I feel like it improves what you're already doing, to be honest, because you don't have that pressure of needing to. And if maybe you're already a big builder in a different company, and so you don't have, trouble with sales or anything, but it's still, I told my mom to start writing letters. She has a full-time corporate career that she loves. She makes great money. She doesn't need extra money by any means. But I'm like, hey, when you're sitting at home, maybe watching TV at night or scrolling TikTok, because my mom likes TikTok too.
Yes.
So I'm just like, Ma, you could write 5 letters and that's going to bring in an extra however much a month. Like, why wouldn't you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's, for a while, she put it off. And then she's like, all right, can you show me how to do these letters?
Yes.
I have everyone in my family writing letters at this stage.
That's awesome. The same here. I mean, I totally understand it. My sister's an RN.
Yeah.
Great income, right?
Yeah.
But she's like, wait a minute. Okay, so she calculated the letters and say, wait a minute, because sometimes she'll do an extra shift.
Right.
She's like, this eliminates that extra shift.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. She's like, and I could be at home.
Right.
Instead of at the hospital.
Right.
Oh, yes, I'm doing this. She's writing, right? So, yes, I have some people. I have a girlfriend who's a full-time trader.
Wow.
And she's doing the same thing. She's making money trading, but she's like, wait a minute. So I can write, and she calculated. So if I bring in 3, 4, 5 grand a month, I can take that and make more. She's like, that's like the ultimate someone else's money going to work, right?
That's me all day. I'm like, hold up, wait a minute. I just created money that I can invest. I can make this money really easily and then put money to work and make more money with this money. It's just, why would I not do that?
Right. Yes, you got it. Yeah. That's it. It's just that easy. You know what I'm learning too as I'm writing? At first it was like, okay, it's about the community and it's but what we could not write. And it's really hard as a leader to tell someone, okay, this is for you, come do this, and you're not doing it, right?
Yeah.
So of course we got out there and started doing it. And you know what I'm finding out about myself? I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm really enjoying it. And I'm like, okay, so now I'm getting paid to watch Netflix.
Right. Now, listen, how well can you actually pay attention to your show, or do you have to put on like a rerun because you got to write and then listen to the show?
You got that right, because this is what I do. When I'm watching something that I've watched before and it's watching me, I'm writing. And the audience won't necessarily get this, but when I'm watching something I'm paying attention to, I'm pulling codes.
Yes. Same. My kids have to have, and so I'm like, all right, codes while we're watching the movie, I'm doing just the corners, just put my name and email on bunch of the note cards as we're too much attention to that. I will watch the movie.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, right now, I really do believe for the everyday person, whether it's something you're really needing right now, or like you said, your mom has a career absolutely love and everything's great in her life, but why not the extra cash flow?
Yeah,
Right. And so, either way, from one extreme to the next, I mean, we have something for everybody.
absolutely. Yeah. I think
Yeah.
it can be for so many different reasons. I was saying,
Mhm.
I made a post a while ago. It doesn't matter if you need extra money for maybe your kids' social activities or sports
Right.
teams or things like that. Maybe you just want money because you've never had a savings account, and this can help you create a safety net. Maybe you don't
Right.
need any extra money at all, but you never know what the future is going to bring.
Yeah.
Or you could have extra money for vacations or whatever
Right.
the case may be. Like, there are some people that write, they don't need the money,
Right.
but now you can gift it. Now you can bless people more. Now you can create a savings. Now you can
That's it.
invest. You can invest in your future. There's just so many different reasons what you could do with this. I don't know anybody that would say, I don't know what to do with an extra, $5.
Right.
Like,
Right. Right. Right.
it's just
Yeah.
crazy not to do it
Yeah.
in my mind.
Yeah. I know. I know. We got it good. And so that's why, I come on here on Thursdays and have people like yourself, because the world needs to know this exists. I mean, it's been around. What's amazing. And as we close here, I'll get a statement from you, but it's been around for decades. I
Yeah,
didn't know until the company founder decided to say, "Hey, I've been doing this for the last 3 years. I want to teach you guys how to do it." Other than that, I would have never known.
I would have never known either.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
would
So,
never would have crossed my path or my mind. If it did cross my path, I probably just would have blown it off.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
would have never known about it. And I think about that, especially because when I started this, I was not engaged. I was living at I moved in with my long story. I won't get into my backstory, but I moved in with my kids into my mom's house
Hmm.
years ago
Hmm.
before I had any online or business success. And I think about that going back, I would have never come across this type of opportunity to make income. And it has just provided me so much stability. I mean, it has opened so many doors for me to be able to do other things that I might not have been able to do for years to come. I mean, it would
Yeah.
have taken me really grinding and building my businesses and putting the work in and sacrificing more time from my kids and all of those
Yes.
things. And in such a short amount of time, because it's uncapped. You can write as many letters as you want. And so it really is something where if you do have a big goal,
Yeah.
start writing, because you can chip away at that so fast. My life looks significantly different, white and
Mhm.
night and day difference today than what it did a year ago before I ever even knew about this. And I think
Yeah.
about that, about if my friend had not messaged me and told me about this, I would have never known about it. And I would have never given it any time of day if I would have just, stumbled across it somehow on Google, which wouldn't have happened because I don't ever
Right.
Google things like this. But I'm just
Yeah.
saying,
Of
like,
course.
it's such a huge difference, and I'm so thankful for the person that brought it to me. I'm so thankful for the person that told him about it, and I will
Right.
never, even now, I don't really it's never been my goal to really promote it hardcore, to make the promoter side of it my full-time income. that's
Yes.
just
Yes.
that's just a blessing that comes from being a promoter and sharing it. But
Right.
even now, I've been writing for over a year, and I will still jump on my social media every day and be like, I know y'all watch me. I know y'all know that I've been doing this for a year. I'm not going to
Right.
stop telling you about it. And I know you think I'm crazy, but it is so life changing. I'm never going to
It
stop
is.
telling people about it. I just
It
can't. I
is.
can't sleep at
Yeah.
night that there's people that don't know about this.
You're right. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. But you know what? More people are gonna know just because we had this conversation.
Yeah,
They
absolutely.
really are.
I love that you do this, Ronette. This is so amazing, and you're
Thank
really
you.
gonna reach so many people. And I'm so excited to think about how many people's lives are gonna change because they see things like this that you're doing. That's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So as we close, someone's on the fence and they're, just kind of teeter and tottering, like, can I really do it? What would be your feedback to that person?
Well, I would say for sure you can do it. As long as you can write, you can do it. And then I always say, the time is gonna pass anyway. You're out nothing. you in this instance, you literally have nothing to lose and everything to gain. And let's say it takes you 3 months to get paid for your first letter. That time is going to pass anyway. 3 months is coming, whether you're ready or not.
Right.
You might as well just try it. Because I'll tell you, I've never had another response other than, my gosh, I wish I would have started this sooner. I have never gotten the response of, I can't believe I tried this, like it just hasn't happened. And we're 20,000 members in, like, we are a small drop in the bucket of how many people do this.
Yeah.
There's not a person out there that's like, no, don't do that. You gotta try it. You gotta try it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I certainly appreciate you coming on and sharing your story. I know because of, and also thank you so much because you started at the very beginning, and it's because of your faith that we're writing, in the beginning. We don't have to have faith. We have it, right? We just have to believe in ourselves and jump in because you guys had the faith and, created so many success stories to prove that this is true and it's been around and it's legitimately happening.
Yeah.
So I just want to thank you because it's because of your yes that my husband and I got a chance to be here and started in December. And
I love that. I love that.
Thank you so much. And look forward at some point having you on again and following up with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you for having me on and having this conversation. And thank you for doing what you do. I love this.
Thank you. Thank you. You're welcome. And once again, thank you for appearing today. And we look forward. So here, I want to let the audience know, this is the deal. If you're on Peyton's site, if you're on her Facebook page, you're seeing this post. She's sharing this out of love because as you heard the testimony, life-changing, and she wants to be able to pay it forward. Go ahead, reach out to her and say, hey, what's going on? Get the information, find out how she's doing this. If you're on my page, contact me. I can get you started, get you more information, whatever we need to do to make sure your 2025 is going to be a blessed one. And there are other people that are sharing this. By all means, if you're watching from their page, contact them because once again, they're sharing it because they want you to get this message and they want to get the message out.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, absolutely. So thank you so much, Peyton. I look forward to talking to you in the near future.
Okay, awesome.
Okay, have a good one.
Bye, you too.
Bye-bye. All right, ladies and gents. So you got a chance to hear from Peyton May, incredible young, successful mother of two, engaged, and right there in Arizona. And I'm so excited because you got a chance to hear another testimony of how this is working for thousands of people in the United States and Canada. I'm going to say again, whoever page you're watching this from, get their info or inbox them now. Inbox them now. This is real, ladies and gents. It's real. What are you waiting for? All right. So if you want to find out the full deal and the full scoop, here's what I want you to know. In the next 15 minutes, I'm actually going to do a full presentation. You'll be able to see the platform's name. You'll be able to see, how we actually write the letters and all those different things. You'll see all that information. So if you want to know everything about this, make sure you come on my Facebook page. I'm going to do a full presentation, or even on YouTube, you'll be able to tap in as well. But I'm going to do a full presentation in the next 15 minutes, and you'll be able to see it from start to finish. Okay, and you'll see why we are so excited. I'll be back next week with another testimony Thursday, and that will be If You Can Write, You Can Win, episode 7. We have someone coming up that's going to be absolutely incredible, just like Peyton and the rest of them. So I look forward to seeing you on the next Testimony Thursday. It's your girl, Ronette Turner Corley, and I look forward to seeing you next Thursday. And until then, happy writing. Bye for now.